Hey.
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
Correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey.
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway.
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository, then I guess we should head that way for now. I'm just gonna be unhelpful as possible, but you have to help me, right? Fucking hell. She drives me nuts, dude. And not in a good way. Here we are. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
So then.
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she actually was made me feel a little more comfortable. Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with Justice Hammer 4, which was lying on the floor in the equipment room. And there's a tarp laid out under his body. The killer must have used it to move him. That way it wouldn't leave bloodstains. Okay, I think that's what I already learned.
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey.
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did?
Whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, you said he had a watch?
So then.
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you, how long were you going to keep us waiting? Flashback, baby.
In other words.
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m., meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Nice, baby.
However.
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto.
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
Because.
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Oh, okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper?
Hey.
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then.
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Nice! So, did you find anything? I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper?
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants. So I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
So...
That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However...
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? The time is different. Hiro told us his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped? Jesus Christ, Makoto. How many IQ points do you have? 1? 2? Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully. Back to literally 2 fucking minutes ago when you got a torn paper out of the guy's hand. Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. The note Hifumi had has been added to the truth bullets section.
Hey.
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The 2 victims this time definitely had their handbooks on them, so the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place, so why bring it up? So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind, because she read the strategy guide for this game, but doesn't want to let anyone else know.
Are you excited? Are you pumped?
Hell
It's
yeah.
time for the class trial to begin!
I'm pumped, brother.
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And
Yo,
so,
that's me.
With no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion, but I'll be sure to drop vague, cryptic, unhelpful bullshit hints every 5 minutes in the class trial. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. Oh, sorry. That dialogue wasn't captured on screen, I guess. Smile. I'm about to love my goddamn mind. Hella right, brother. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Two Monotuma? He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey.
Then if everyone is here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Or elevator. Yo, Robon makes a guest appearance? I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we? Oh, hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate, then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Ifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the 2 that lost their lives. The one who killed Ifumi and Taka, the one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is... Makoto Naegi. Someone right here. I'll be right back. I have to turn a fan on. It's getting warm in my room. Okay, I'm back. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator and inhaled slowly. Once everyone was on board, I exhaled slowly. The doors closed on their own, and I breathed a fourth time. And the steel box began to move as I continued to breathe. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Well, there will be for most of you. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Bum bum bum. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. Yo, he redecorated again. It's nice. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. But they're stands, not seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly ellipsis, a deadly riddle, a deadly Twitch stream, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Alright, I got a bunch of shit. I got some new skills I can set, though. Extraordinary focus. Increases focus gauge by 2. Menacing focus. Increases the focus gauge by 5. Oh, wait. I guess that's like a straight upgrade of that? Okay. What's focus gauge? It's something I ignore, dude. And then I have my melodious voice, and I don't have a bunch else because I am crap. Let's go, brother!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
It's like
So,
Survivor. He has to
your votes
explain how
will
it works even
determine
when
the
everyone knows how it
results.
works.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But
Who done
if
it?
you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with,
We already know who did it.
was that
No, that's wrong!
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know! I don't know! I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer? Or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Boom, 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 boom. Costume, message, and Robo Justice blueprints.
Everything.
What was his message again? Yasuhiro's message. Meet in the dining hall with the good-ass handwriting.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
I need to prove that the handwriting doesn't match. Compelling evidence that Hiro is the killer. Is that really true?
Everything we found
So I
in
should
your
probably
room,
use this, his message.
the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
No,
No, that's wrong!
we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this.
Take a look
It's the
at
note
these.
that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
It's a cipher. The capital letters are MDH.
The handwriting's obviously
Stands
different,
for,
wouldn't you say?
I don't know.
When you compare it to the blueprints.
I only thought about like the first 30% of that clever anecdote.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
He's like, guys, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't be guilty.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that robo-justice suit?
Then who was phone?
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Oh, don't pull this fucking Kyoko shit on me, buddy. Of course, he passes it off to me.
Who was in the robo-justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. The Illuminati! Why is Hina an option? We're proving that it can't have been Hiro, and the Illuminati is a fucking meme answer, so it's gotta be Hina? Question mark? But she has an alibi. I think it was Hiro in the suit. But I don't think he killed people.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have
Put
been.
your Pepe laughs away.
Obviously, he
for
was
now.
the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
Nani?
Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify
No
the method
human
of
can
transportation
be as smug
for
as
Taka's
Byakuya.
lifeless body.
It is literally physically impossible.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
Like, he's
Makoto,
pretty much
can you tell us
as
what they
smug
were?
as Seto Kaiba. Things that were used to move Taka's body. Well, it was the tarp and the dolly. Pretty sure.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. And the tarpity tarp.
I got it!
I got it! I got it!
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
But there was still a
So
tarp
the
in the
killer must have
equipment
seen it
room
there
after
and
the body
decided
was
to use it
moved.
when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Was when I got there.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anymore.
What the fuck? I thought it was D rank or C rank. What a
We
hater.
have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember the X button now has a function along with the A and Y buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your difficulty is set to gentle, then you're a baby and why are you even bothering? In which case, you could ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck. The moment of truth.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong.
Oh, God.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic.
I forgot to
Lies will
reload.
get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your
It's,
worst.
I fucking hate this negative time, dude.
You miserable wretch.
The tempo, if the tempo changes when it's in that negative mode, it's so fucking disastrous. If you do rainbow mode when you're in that mode, it just goes max speed and you still can't see anything. It sucks.
I refuse to give up yet.
The rainbow mode is terrible, dude, because it doesn't cancel the shitty mode.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are
See,
a
it
fool.
still just keeps it like in shithead mode.
Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree.
Pew!
This should prove it. If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Then do it, bitch.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? He means you can't bend over and the dolly it doesn't have a fucking handle, yo.
As we know,
Is that the dolly, repository dolly? There's no handles. What's the other ones? The blueprints. And the costume. Anyone wearing it would not be able to bend. Okay, so that's the thing I need.
and from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is...
That's
bend over.
wrong!
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
Well, what do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Can't bend over. Clap, 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 clap.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because once it's on, you can never take it off.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Flashback, flashback.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself?
Girl, you were
Wasn't just
there.
making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
She's got a donut in her brain.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said? So So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
Robo-Justice.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.